to talk about getting married young. When Tony and I first announced that we wanted to get married and, we are engaged and everything, I cannot tell you how many people told you that we were going to get divorced within the first year. It was going to be the worst decision we ever made, all this doomsday stuff. But here's the truth of it. If you meet somebody and you can't go 10 minutes without wondering what they're doing or without thinking about them, or whenever somebody says their name, you get this stupid smile on your face and they make you feel so safe when you're with them, like nothing's going to hurt you, and you can just be 100% yourself around the person. Go for it, because nobody can tell you that your relationship is going to fail. They aren't in your relationship, they haven't been in your relationship. Every marriage is different, every relationship is different, every person is different. So there's a lot of variables, and if somebody just looks at you and says, okay, well, you're 18, there's no way that you're going to be getting married. Well, I did. So I'm not saying that, if you're in high school, um, you can think that you're going to marry somebody. And I know that I've had that before, um, with somebody that wasn't my husband. But if you guys make an honest effort, and only you can know how serious your relationship is. So if you two would do absolutely anything for each other, and you support each other, and you love each other, and even if in the first year you decide, hey, I'm not really sure that that was a great idea, I'm not sure this is what I want anymore, if you can both be willing to say, okay, well, I love you, so if you need me to let you go so that you can do what you need to do and to be happy, go ahead and get married if that's something that you guys are looking to do. Don't let anybody tell you you can't because you're young, because, in the olden days, 13 and 14-year-olds were getting married. So who are they to tell you that your relationship is going to fail? However, with that said, like I said, you should not just marry anybody, just get married young. It is a lot of hard work. But I think it's easier when you're younger, because Tony and I went straight from our parents' house, in our family normal setting, straight into living, together as a married couple. And I think that really helped, because we didn't have a chance to kind of set our own rhythm for our own lives yet. We hadn't experienced getting out of the nest 100% yet. So it was a learning experience for both of us, and we both got to be uncomfortable together, which, hey, works out great. So makes it more fun. A lot of memories, actually. And, you will fight. I will tell you, you'll fight. In the first month, Tony and I talked about whether we thought that that was a good idea, getting married so young or not. So, I mean, it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to talk about your options, but just realize that if you guys love each other, you can make it through anything. Yeah, not sure where I was going with that, but just I get a lot of questions about what it's like to be married young, and what it's like to have a baby on the way and everything. And it makes me so sad that people are so against young people getting married. They expect, we've been in relationships our whole lives, from our parents, obviously the mom being the longest one because she, has you in her tummy, to friendships, boyfriends, girlfriends, cousins, aunts, uncles, step parents. We just are in all these constant relationships, but everybody tells you, oh, you're too young for that. But yet they expect you to know what career you want to do for the rest of your life, probably when you're 16. So then you can start looking at colleges and different options and saving for different things. So I think that's just really ridiculous. That's just my opinion. But I do think it's hilarious, because if you're younger than 25, people will tell you, and I know my siblings can vouch for this because they've gotten this too. Before you're 25, people are like, oh, don't get married yet. You have plenty of time. You don't have to worry about it. As soon as you hit 25, people are down your throat. Why aren't you married yet? Where are your 2 kids? Stuff like that. Where's your house? So nobody's going to be happy, no matter what you do. So if you find somebody and they make you the happiest person that you've ever been, and even when you're upset with them or sad about something that happened and you still can't let that person go, then why torture yourself by trying to listen to other people? After Tony and I got engaged, we got tired of hearing people say that we were never going to make it, because if people say something enough, you start believing it. And so we broke up. Um, and that was the worst, probably 5 minutes of my life. It didn't last very long, but it's just, it was a lot of pressure from other people that we didn't need in our relationship. So I will tell you, if you are in a serious relationship young, people will give you lots of advice, lots and lots of unwanted advice, or just advice in general that you're just kind of like, why would you ever say that to somebody? Even on the day of our wedding and the rehearsal and everything, yeah, we got a lot of comments. Especially now that I'm pregnant, we'll go out to eat or something, and people will notice because I'm starting to show, and we'll talk about the baby and everything. By the way, it's a girl. Found out last Thursday, but and they just give us weird looks because we're too young, or we're interracial couple because Tony's half and half. Whatever. Just no matter what you do, nobody's gonna be happy. So if that other person makes you happy and you want to spend the rest of your life with them, go ahead and do it. Don't be scared. And like I said, nobody knows what marriage is going to be like until you're actually in it. I honestly thought it was going to be a lot different. I thought it would be more like the 50s, but luckily for me, I married a great guy. He, does the dishes for me, and just different things like that. For the hard times, when you are in a low point, because those will happen and you're fighting, or you're just wondering if you made the decision, think about the issue in comparison to the rest of your life, and I guarantee you it will dwindle down into absolutely nothing. And once you move past it, you'll be like, I can't believe I was stuck on that for the longest time. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was doing. But and just talk to each other about it. Communication really is key. I know when I get upset, I don't like talking it out because I'm afraid that if I'm in the same room as you, I might hit you, and then I have to apologize and all the stuff that goes with that. But once you cool down, just talk about what happened. Talk about why both of you reacted the way you did, why you both feel the way that you do, and try to see it from the other person's perspective. I know that was my biggest problem, was I didn't understand how you could see it that way, because it was so obvious, that I knew what I was talking about. And then once you start to think about it, you're like, okay, yeah, I can kind of see how you would get that. And, it helps you bond, and it helps you get over that situation. And another thing, just think about the moment you fell in love. This is going to sound really stupid, but I love telling people this. The first time Tony and I hung out, we went for a walk in a cemetery that was by my parents' house, and I brought along a bowl of grapes in case things got awkward, and I just didn't know what to say. I could just shove my mouth full of grapes, it'd be fine, and then afterwards just never talk to him again. But after we ate all the grapes, we were walking, and I made a joke. I don't even remember. It's probably really stupid and sarcastic, but I made a joke, and he laughed. And afterwards, I said, obviously I'm the most I'm the most serious person you'll ever meet. And I kind of looked down because I was chuckling at myself or whatever. He's like, oh, okay. And I looked at him, and I was like, I just made a joke. But when I looked at him, he had put the bowl on his head. So it was like right here on his head. And I just thought it was the silliest, most amazing thing ever. And yeah, that's when I fell in love with him. So it doesn't even have to be something crazy that makes you fall in love with the other person. For me, it was just seeing the real him and knowing that he was comfortable enough to do that in front of somebody he really didn't know, because we really didn't know each other when we started dating, which, isn't the best, but it is what it is. So you know, getting married young. Yeah. Sorry, kind of went off track there. But just don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. If you want to, and if you love that person, and if they love you, go for it. Go for it. Because most of the time, people regret things they didn't do, not things that they did do. Um, and even if Tony and I did get divorced, I would still have this baby that we've made together. I would still have the memories, and you would come out with knowledge, okay, so that relationship didn't work out for whatever reason. And then when you're looking for your next partner, um, you can look for those things that you absolutely loved, or, avoid things you didn't like. With that said, dating. Take dating seriously. If you want to marry that person, don't even waste your time, don't waste your heartache, don't waste your love, don't waste anything on that person. If you know for a fact that the person you're with is not the person you're going to marry, don't even bother. Um, my grandmother has a saying, pick a date who would make a good mate. And in reality, you don't want your time wasted, and they don't either. So why bother? Um, so really think about who you're dating. Think about what you're saying about yourself, and what standards you're setting for yourself within that relationship. So if I were with a guy that walked around with his pants, down to his ankle, cussing everybody out that looked at him wrong, you would think that I had low expectations. Well, that's not somebody I would want to marry, so why would I go out and date that person? Yeah, he might be cool, he might be fun to be around. You can be friends with people. I'm friends with so many. Okay, I am not popular, but I like to talk to people. I don't like anybody to be alone. Anybody that's been to camp with me knows that. If you sit alone, I will sit across from you and annoy you and make it really awkward. But hey, at least you're not alone, so it's great. Um, but you know, just think about who you want to portray. But like I said, I'm friends with people who do drugs. I'm friends with people who don't do drugs. I'm friends with athletes, smart people. I ran out of names for different groups of people, but we're all individuals, and I'm friends with a lot of weird people that some people are kind of like, why are you friends with them? Okay, well, friendship is different than dating them. I can guarantee that I know a lot of my guy friends way too well that I would have never even considered them as a dating possibility or a marriage possibility or anything other than a weird friendship. Um, and that's okay. So like I said, you can still be friends with those people. That's fine. Love on them. Everybody needs love and friendship and all that good stuff. But like I said, don't waste your time. Don't waste your heartache. Um, Save it for the person that you think you can make it with. And once you're in that relationship, try with everything you have to make it work. Because I'm a Christian. I believe that marriage is for life. So I mean, I understand that people get divorced, and I understand there are certain reasons why you should get divorced. Um, I don't think that's an easy out of a marriage. I think you should, really talk it over and try to work things out. But just because you're young, it doesn't mean you can't make that decision. You know what you want in a person more than anybody else. I know my parents, they didn't know what I wanted in a guy. I didn't even really know what I wanted in a guy until I met Tony, and he displayed personalities of a gentleman, holding the door open for me, even though I thought that was the most annoying thing in the world. Now I love it. Just if he treats you in a way that makes you feel special, in a good way, that nobody has ever made you feel, and they just pay so much attention to you. I know for Tony, one of the things that really caught me off guard was that if I said something about something that I liked or something that I cared about, he would remember it. And nobody else had really done that. I mean, I know that we all forget things from time to time and everything, but it would just be the randomest things that he's like, hey, do you remember when that happened? Or hey, I remember that you like this, so I did this for you, or whatever. Just if they're always thinking about you and it's always the random things, not necessarily things that everybody knows, then I would say, that's a pretty good indicator. They are definitely a possibility because if they don't if they don't care to get to know you or your interest or your hobbies, what you like, what you don't like, your favorite movie as a kid, then they're not investing in you. And um, I can say that you definitely want somebody that's invested in you, somebody that will care about you, um, somebody that'll take care of you. So yeah, I feel like I end the video every time by saying "but yeah" or "so yeah." But anyway, I just wanted to talk to you about getting married young, what it's actually like, because like I said, people give you a lot of advice. I gave you a lot of advice. But just don't be afraid to try it. And like I said, if that's the one person you can click with, if that's the one person that you don't know why, but you can't go 5 minutes without talking to, why not? Why not at least consider the option? I know a lot of parents might not be okay with it, and that's okay because they're losing their baby, and it is hard on them, and it'll be hard on you in the relationship. But just keep focused on what you guys want because after you get married, your parents are second now, and your spouse is the first person that you're concerned with and the first person that you consult with on anything. So don't be afraid to try. Um, but yeah, I just hope that I answered some questions, gave some insight, helped a little. I know I was kind of all over the place. My mind is really scattered. I had hot chocolate earlier, so I'm a little not like sugar rush, but lightheaded, not lightheaded either, but just all over the place, basically. So yeah, I hope that that helped, and I hope that if you guys have any questions, you know that you can come to me and I will answer them honestly. Um, I'm not going to judge you for any questions. I've in previous videos I've admitted stupid mistakes that I've done, and just don't be afraid to ask me anything. Like I said, I'll answer it to the best of my ability. But yeah, have a great day.